Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name's Fabian and I like to wear all black. I made the switch to all black, I want to say almost a year ago. It's a decision that I kind of made very quickly. I made it kind of at a whim, but I'd also been thinking about it for a long time. I think the only part that kind of was long was the decluttering process, which we're going to talk about later in the video. But for now, I just want to kind of explain why I made the decision in the first place and kind of explain why it works for me. And just go over my story. The reason I made this decision in the first place can be boiled down to about three things: decluttering, limitation, and simplicity. And we're gonna kind of go through all those things throughout this video. Before we talk about any of those things though, I want to get two things out of the way first. First and foremost, this is not advice. This is not me trying to tell you how to dress or how to dress in the specific way. More or less, it's just me kind of telling you my story and telling you why this happens to work for me. But you don't have to follow anything I'm saying, and honestly, I don't really want people to. This is not necessarily a harsh decision, but it's definitely something that I feel like not a lot of people can do, and not a lot of people should do either. I like the way the color black works on me, I like the way I feel in it, I like the way that it looks. You might not feel the same way, and that's perfectly fine. I think the beauty of fashion is the way that you express yourself with it, and if it's not the way you want to express yourself, don't do it. Secondly, this is not a tutorial video, so this is not me teaching you how to dress in all black. This is just me, once again, talking about why I do it in the first place. My style and the things that I wear, I would say, are probably like top 3 priority in my life. I know that sounds crazy, but it's something that I like putting a lot of effort into. It's something that I consciously think about every single day. I really only think about clothes for myself. I really only think about how I'm going to interpret it. So it's kind of hard for me to tell other people how to dress. In general, try not to take anything I'm saying as Bible. This is just me. And with all those disclaimers out of the way, let's get started with the actual video. Let me take you back to the summer of 2023. I had a little bit of money on me, and I was kind of at a crossroads in my life. And during this time, I decided I would take a look and reevaluate my wardrobe. And when I took a look at my closet, I realized that the entire thing was not only cluttered, but just kind of a mess in general. I don't have a picture of it, but let me just tell you, it lacked any sort of cohesion and it was extremely cluttered. I'll probably flash a picture up of what my current closet looks like, although I will admit it still looks messy, but it's a lot more cohesive and I have a very minimal amount of pieces now. At least minimal compared to what I used to have. So yeah, that's my first reason. Decluttering. To me, decluttering is good for many reasons, but it kind of served as a bit of a de-stressor for me in my personal life. I was kind of filling my life in my room with so many different things that having just an excess of clothing made it suffocating. There's not really any other way I could kind of describe it. Having a lot of things, being kind of centered around a lot of things, especially, I guess you can say this is kind of like materialism. Just having a lot of items in general is extremely stressful. It makes you feel like you're being suffocated. It makes you feel like you're in just a box of your own possessions. So what decluttering meant for me in this particular instance was basically gutting my closet of anything that had color. I took out all my white shirts, I took out all my brown shirts, I took out all my pink shirts, green shirts, any of my jackets. I had a lot of military jackets and denim jackets, got rid of those. All of my blue denim, gone. Switched with black and, other kinds of black stuff. A lot of those clothes I either ended up, one, selling or just giving to friends who, don't think about fashion as hard as I do. And after that, I basically just built everything from the ground up. Started from scratch. I don't know how many clothes I sold in particular. I don't know how many things I got rid of, but I would say that it was maybe 65% of my wardrobe. Black is kind of a good neutral point, so a lot of people who are into fashion, me included, kind of own a lot of it. But it definitely made it so that my closet was extremely limited. However, a lot of good things came from that limitation, which that's my second reason, by the way, if you were listening before. Limitation. Limitation is good for a lot of reasons. To explain this point, though, I think I would rather kind of go on a bit of a tangent here. You ever notice, when a musician or a director of a movie or kind of something like that makes their first film and it kind of has this, unique charm to it? A majority of the time, those movies or albums or just projects, I guess, if we're speaking generally, usually they don't have a lot going into it. What I mean by a lot is I mean money. Usually a director or artist's first project doesn't have a lot of money behind it, so they end up working with what they have. They have a small team most of the time, unknown actors, low production quality, just everything is lower than what you'd see in your average, blockbuster or highly produced record. But then because of that unique charm, they end up getting very successful from that project. Once they get noticed, they get a lot more money, they get a lot more recognition, and they could make bigger and crazier projects. But in that process, something is kind of lost. That unique charm, that kind of creative drift, it's gone. It's not there anymore because they lack limitations. That's basically the kind of metaphor I'm trying to make here, is that limitation breeds creativity. It makes you have to think more. To get to your vision, you have to start doing things differently. You have to think outside of the box. That's how I feel about wearing all black. It's extremely limiting, but it made me be more creative with my wardrobe. Now that I had a, small amount of shirts, jeans, I had to rebuild, I had to buy new things, but I had to be smarter about it. It wasn't just about now putting things together or, figuring out what color combination worked. Those things were kind of out of the window. It just now was about buying silhouettes that looked good on me, tailoring shirts, which is the thing I've been doing a lot more now, getting stuff that maybe doesn't fit and then making it fit later. All of these things kind of taught me how to be smarter with my wardrobe, be smarter about buying. I became more happy with the things that I was wearing, and I was encountering less dysmorphia. There's a thing, I guess. I don't really think there's a term for it. I just call it fashion dysmorphia, when you're putting on all these 100 outfits and none of them look good to you. I noticed that it was lowering that for me just by limiting the options that I had. There were so many things in my closet I just never wore. I don't know how many people experience this in the same way that I do, but I go through phases where I wear one thing all the time. It's something that I'm really trying to stop doing because it's not healthy, but I would do that all the time. I did that all the time when I was wearing more colored clothing. I would buy a new piece from somewhere, maybe something like Grailed. All of a sudden, this is my new favorite shirt. These are my new favorite pair of pants or boots or whatever. That's not very good, and wearing something all the time is a very easy way to get bored of it. It's a very easy way to kind of waste the money that you've spent, saving up to maybe purchase something. So now with my new wardrobe, I do that a lot less, and I have a way easier time figuring out what to wear. But when I go out to shop, I'm not really looking at anything else but the black. So now it's way easier for me to shop at stuff. I go to a lot of flea markets, so I go to the black section, see what they got, cycle through their t-shirts. If it's not what I want, I'm not buying. And overall, this decision I made just makes things simpler. It's my third reason, by the way. Simplicity. Simplicity, that's my third reason why. That's the third reason why I did this. Simplicity. So if you're into fashion at all, chances are you've seen this video of Rick Owens doing a tour of his house. One of the most reposted parts of that video, and one of the most striking parts to me just personally, is when he goes into his closet. So when you see his closet in the video, it's that big. It's really tiny. But one of the most interesting things is that he reveals he only has 10 clothes, 10 pieces. He has, in his own words, a small stack of t-shirts and a small stack of shorts. He reasoned it down to commitment. He likes committing to an idea for a long time, so if he likes a look, if he likes a style, he'll just stick with it and wear that for however long he wants to. This is a level of humility and dedication I think I've lacked, not just in my own style, but just being a person into fashion in general. I respect people who can just have a look, have a style. That's so unique, and honestly to me the epitome of fashion is just being able to embody a character or a look. And I guess that's what I'm kind of trying to do right now. I have a tendency to gravitate towards a lot of different styles, a lot of different looks and ideas, that I've kind of overcomplicated fashion and just what I like on myself. This kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, getting addicted to a piece for a really long time and then just not wearing it that much afterwards. It's, like I said, humility. You need to kind of reason with yourself and pick only things that you're really going to stick to. That's something that I try to do, and I buy a lot less now. I have the same stack of t-shirts, I'm staring at them right now, that I've had for like a while. So every once in a while, I'll take one out or add something new, but for the most part, my t-shirt rotation is pretty established by now. I wear a lot of the same shoes every day. I like wearing the same jackets. I just, like what I like. And don't get me wrong, I have a couple of grays, I have a couple of whites. I'm just kind of, keeping a monochromatic synergy. But, I mean, I break my own rules sometimes. It's not something that I live and die by. It's just something that I kind of keep in the back of my head whenever I'm shopping or whenever I'm thinking about what I want to wear. But by and large, if you see me on the street, I'm going to look like that one cousin at the family dinner that nobody talks to that just sits in the corner. And to be honest, that's a look I'm quite fond of. I think it looks pretty good on me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the time. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you like. I'm going to be trying to make way more content like this on a regular basis. So if this is what you like, stick around. Maybe you'll like the next video I do. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, guys.